Liverpool against Manchester United, but before that, a really interesting game between Tottenham and Aston Villa coming up. Tottenham could go second with a win here. In no small part, their form has been down to Mohamed Kudus. We'll hear from him next.
So underrated, underestimated. I need flex to play it.
Doubleheader on Super Sunday of Tottenham against Aston Villa. Spurs with the chance to move into second place in the table with a win. And then it's Liverpool against Manchester United. Kickoff is 4:30 at Anfield. Well, the visitors at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium make a couple of changes. Amadou Onana comes into midfield in place of Bogard, and Evan Gesson starts up front for Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins, though, is fit enough, but only for the bench. As for Tottenham, just the one change for them. It's at left back where Jed Spence comes in for Destiny Udogie. Matisse Tell scored last time out. He starts up front. Kolo Muani, though, is fit again, only for the bench. Let's hear from Thomas Frank. Here's with Emma Saunders.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, we just heard Kelly there going through today's starting lineups, and the Tottenham team really just a matter of metres behind us, probably on their best behaviour now that you're here.
It looks good, huh?
It looks good.
It looks like we're preparing and they're ready for it.
We will start with one player though that isn't featuring today, Destiny Udogie. What's the status there?
He came back from international duty with a minor irritation in the knee, so that's just keeping me up for this game.
So minor irritation, doesn't indicate a long time scale, would you agree?
That's not the plan.
Okay, well let's focus then on who is here today. Everything else in your team unchanged in that starting 11. Matisse Tell keeps his place leading the line. You've got Kolo Muani back, Richarlison available too. Take us inside that decision.
I think it was easy with Kolo Muani, because he's nowhere near ready to start. So that's not a challenge in that aspect, if that makes sense. I like Kolo to be ready, of course. Richie has done very well for us as well. I just thought that Matty looked good last game, scored a goal, so I'd like to build in on that momentum.
Speaking of momentum, he's been linking up really nicely with Wilson Odobert over the international break and prior to that as well. Again, did that make that area of the pitch quite easy to decide on? Yeah,
I think Wilson looked good as well. I think he played 3 or 4 good games, just adding small layers constantly. I think Xavi looked good, Mo looked good, so I think the front 4 looked lively. I'd like to build on that.
Xavi Simons, we've seen in the middle, we've seen out on the left side as well. Where do you think is his best position?
I'll keep saying it, that he can play both positions. Because you never know what you're going to get. And in terms of sometimes it's best to play him from the left, sometimes it's best to playing down the middle. It's not only about him.
Yeah.
As far as I know, there's actually 10 other players, and there's some subs and how the relationship work. So it's a whole bigger picture.
Yeah,
did I answer it okay?
Yes,
yeah,
no, understood it. And it's a fair point. Everybody in this Tottenham team is doing their bit, and you're going to need that over the next few weeks. What about Mo Kudus? He's become a bit of a fan's favourite here. What do you like about him the most?
Many things. Where should I start? I think he's been exceptional since the first day of the season. I think he's such a threat going forward. I think the 1v1, how can you say, offensively, he's going past players. He's very good at that. His work rate, everything just very good.
And how important was it for him to get that goal? Because he was kind of clocking up the assists, wasn't he? And you mentioned about all the other work he does.
Yeah, exactly. He's very good with the assists, but also we need to give goals. The best offensive players, they score goals. That's just the way it is. And he was coming closer and closer, so I'm so happy he got one, and hopefully he can build on and get another one today.
And what about Aston Villa? I mean, they had a bit of a struggling start, but it looks like they have found their feet. I think I understand you've never beaten an Unai Emery team with Brentford. What about now as manager of Tottenham? How much has that challenge changed?
I didn't know that, but then it's about time to change it. Apparently I haven't beaten Daniel Farke either at Leeds with Brentford, and we did it last time, so hopefully...
That's a good omen.
Yeah, so hopefully we can do it today. Jokes aside, Unai I respect massively. I think he's a top manager. I think he worked wonders with Villa together with his staff and the players. It's going to be a very, very super tight game in every aspect, no doubt about that. And it will be a small moment that decide the game. game. I hope and I believe that we can get that moment, and we will definitely do everything we can to get it.
All right, well, best of luck with it. The rain is pouring down here, so I will let you go.
This is not pouring.
I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Roy, what about that question that Emma just asked Thomas Frank about? When you have a record against another manager, he's already turned it around against Daniel Farke when they beat Leeds, but not having beaten Emery as Brentford boss, and then Brentford beat him this season, or beat Villa this season without Thomas Frank.
I think, yeah, well, that can happen. You know, that can happen in football. But then again, he says it also gives them the opportunity to change that. He done it again a couple of weeks ago against Leeds. But there'll always be something like that in football. Certain managers have better records than others. Remember, he's on about a top manager. But that could certainly change today, because Tottenham certainly have started the season very well. They're not giving much away. And we know Villa have struggled, particularly scoring goals. So there's I agree, it probably is set up for a tight game. Yeah,
they're not giving much away, and they're really strong defensively, Tottenham, but up front, and they've got that help with Mohamed Kudus coming into their side.
Yeah, I think he's always been a talented player. There's always question marks with these players. I always look at it, when you're an attack player, you can go past people like he does for fun. It's their stats in terms of assists and goals and end product, and that's an area certainly he has to improve, and which he has done already going into Spurs. So credit to the manager for the team he's playing with. I love people who can go past players. They're a joy to watch. His stats at West Ham weren't necessarily that great. You'd always think, listen, on any given day, he's like a fizzy drink. You don't know what you're going to get. So he needs to bring that consistency to his play. But so far, his stats obviously very, very good. The key for him now is to keep that up over the next few months, because that's what the really top players do, particularly the attacking players. Keep it going over the winter months, and especially in the bigger and the tighter games, and towards the end of the season when the games become tighter and more pressure, we need to see what kind of personality and what player he is, because he's always had the talent. We're now probably seeing more of it, which is good to see.
Absolutely spot on. I think as the Spurs fans at home haven't perhaps seen the best of him yet as well. One of the goal involvement that was against Burnley, first game of the season. There's more to offer certainly at home, but he's a talented boy, as Roy says. When he gets the ball, he makes things happen, and Spurs fans identify with players like that. He's very exciting to watch.
How much does Palhinha help that Spurs team? Sometimes I know you talk about him a lot, but occasionally he can be like an unsung hero for the side.
Absolutely. I think the two midfielders, I like Bentancur as well. They've got a really good balance in there. You know, Bergvall and players that have not quite in the team, but he seems to be. That's his two. He likes them. They give you a lot of defensive stability. They can break the play up. They're good with the ball. He is one of what you say. Sometimes we talk about great signing. He's a great loan. I mean, there's an option to buy 20 odd million, whatever it is, but 30 years of age. He knows his game. The only downside can be with a player like him is he plays so much on the edge. He gets a lot of bookings, and that can be a bit of a problem, because you're always risking maybe getting sent off, because he loves going to ground, sliding into tackles, which in our day when Roy and I played midfield was absolutely fine. Nowadays you have to be a bit more careful. But he's very good in both boxes, scores goals, great heading the ball out of his own box. And I've interviewed him a couple of times and everything, and every time I've met him I thought, like, proper boy. You know, he wants to win, great attitude. And I can imagine in and around that dressing room just sets great examples every day. Look at him, his size, he's a great frame, he's a top player, Roy.
If you're going to play in the Premier League every week and you want to make progress at a football club, you need physicality in midfield. Obviously you hope they can look after the ball, and they've got the attacking players to do that, but the two they've got maybe kind of sitting in there, that physicality, you need that in the Premier League week in, week out, and Spurs have it, and it gives them that foundation then to go forward. And there's a reason why they haven't given up so many goals. It'll be not just down to their defensively, so obviously they have a couple of lads in front of them, huge job from.
It's going to be tougher against the Villa side than it might have been at the start of the season, where they lost their opening 5, didn't score in 4, but have they turned it around with wins in their last 2 games?